Thank you, Chair Hansen. I'm Daniel Mitchell. My wife and I own Sporting Systems, a small firearm retailer in Vancouver. This bill will have a devastating impact upon small businesses statewide. It prevents pawn shops from returning pawned items. It destroys the competition circuit and training opportunities. In border regions such as mine, citizens will simply step across the state line and make their purchases since this ban is completely unenforceable. The July 1st implementation date is a totally inadequate timeframe to sell our existing inventory on hand. It's important to note that correlation is not causation. Standard capacity magazines are the most popular magazines serving the most popular firearms available in the largest numbers for decades. Correlating shootings and mass magazine capacity is simply a statistical manipulation for political gain. Nearly 80% of the firearms in our store come with a standard capacity magazine ranging from 12 to 30 rounds. We have roughly 1,000 firearms that fall into this category, as they are the most common firearms and magazines sold in the US today. With my current inventory turn rate, this bill will cost me roughly $135,000 upon implementation, just to replace the magazines. This bill totally fails to existing inventories, as smaller retailers need at least a year to turn that inventory, or it will destroy many businesses and families. Thank you very much for hearing my testimony. First time I've ever finished early.
We certainly appreciate it, but Mr. Ranking Member is going to wreck your time record here by asking questions. So please, Mr. Ranking Member.
Just one quickly, Mr. Chair. Mr. Mitchell, I like your point about causation and correlation. I'd like you to expand just quickly on how you think that affects people's understanding of the public policy here.
Well, the biggest thing is most folks just really don't understand how firearms work, what's available, the laws that are already in place, and the lack of enforcement, the lack of teeth in our judicial system and correction system at this point. And take, for example, yesterday the House passed Bill 1169, and which I think it no longer has enhanced penalties for firearms offenses because they no longer advance the interest of justice. How does a reasonable person that's sitting in this room today that wants to ban magazines, but also wants to strip away penalties for people that use firearms in crimes? It's sort of like cutting the hooves off of the antlers and the hooves and antlers off of the gazelle, and then starting a breeding program for the lions. It doesn't make any sense at all. But it's just a lack of understanding from the non-firearm owning community about how firearms work, and they learn everything from what they see on TV and in the movies. And they take
Thank you, Mr. Mitchell.